Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to One More Round, the show where I talk about Counter-Strikey stuff. It's basically just a podcast in disguise as a video. The footage you're watching is from a professional player. I'll let you know who sometime during the video. It's at the end. Today I want to speak to you a bit about the competitive map pool for CSGO. I've already spoken about the map pool in a previous One More Round video, where I discussed the controversy of putting Overpass and Cobblestone into the mix. The next competitive map pool is yet to be released as of the making of this video. However, a tweet by the developers has revealed that nuke will be removed in favor of the newly revamped train. This has sparked quite a controversy across the interwebs. Nuke is a classic map, unique in its layout, that provides great tactical opportunities for high-level gameplay, whereas the new train is relatively untested. We all know that Valve's chosen map pool will be adopted by the major Valve-funded events, which trickles down into smaller tournaments and leagues. Those are the maps that the professional players are going to be practicing. The decision also doesn't really affect matchmaking too much as well, since you can queue for any map you want that's not in the active duty. They put them on the sidelines. In fact, it's rather pointless for there to be an active duty, considering you can queue for any map you want regardless. It seems we have the framework here for something great, a system built into the game for folks who want to play the game competitively on proper servers with proper rule sets. I, for one, do not mind paying $15 for 3 months of this, which in my opinion would be the best payment model, since as more of a long-term investment, it would dissuade casual cheaters from purchasing it considerably. Having a so-called active duty hints at the inclusion of a ladder system beyond the matchmaking ranks. A team ladder, for example, would be lovely. That being said, currently as it stands, this decision does not affect matchmaking, but it does affect professional and amateur third-party tournaments and leagues to a startling extent. It is not a decision to be taken lightly and requires some kind of input from the competitive community. For a decision like what maps should be in the map pool, you can't trust the professional players. I know I'm going to catch some flack for that comment, so let me explain. Certain teams play better on certain maps. A team like Na'Vi, for example, refuses to even practice nuke and simply vetoes it where possible. If you ask players on the team Na'Vi what maps they think should be in the map pool, do you think nuke would actually make its way onto the list? So who can you trust? I'll leave that as an open-ended question. I just wanted to raise the point. Trust no one. The truth is, Valve has put a lot of work into revamping Train to try and make it work, to prevent it from being so incredibly CT-sided, a map many teams vetoed and tried to avoid. They've completely remade it, and now it's time for them to unleash it upon us. In reality, the only way to determine if the map is ready is to have professionals play it. I don't know if there was professional playtesting going on behind the scenes, but it is something that would need to happen before even considering putting the map into the map pool. Another question is, would the professional teams be open to playtesting these maps? This could determine not only the outcome of tournaments, but also the viewership if the map turns out to be terrible. We can look at the old versions of Cobblestone and Overpass as prime examples of this. With Counter-Strike Global Defensive growing at such a rate, you can't really risk it with something like that. Overpass and Cobblestone have been worked upon considerably to make them competitively viable, and I know I'm not alone in saying that the changes have drastically improved gameplay. The axing of nuke does raise an interesting question. While nuke is a great map for competitive play, it does tend to be CT-sided like Train was. This could be an indication that nuke is going to get a similar makeover as Train, but really that's just speculation on my end. The current nuke visually looks like it was directly ported from source. It's not a pretty map, it's like a celebrity without her makeup. The old gal could use a facelift. Remember the old days when Dust 2, Inferno, and Nuke were the only maps ever played in tournaments? How we demanded an increase in variety in the map pool. We put our hands up and said, blah, give us more variety, more maps. We got a brand spanking new Mirage, which was released with some criticism and then improved and finally accepted. We got Cobblestone and Overpatch, which were improved upon as well. Then we got Cache, a third-party map not made by Valve, included into the map pool. Things are definitely much better now that the map pool has this variety, and the devs have shown that they're committed to improving the maps based on feedback. We've seen improvements to every single map. The only thing I'm worried about is introducing the untested Train into actual tournaments at this stage, before we know if it'll actually work. We already know Season will work. Nuke is on the field, a veteran of the game, making plays, but he has a twisted ankle that needs to heal. His performance is questionable. The coach has to make a decision. We now see Season sitting on the sidelines warming the benches, seeing his opportunity as the new operation fades, his last chance to get into the game. "Put me in, coach," Season yells above the roaring fans. "Put me in, coach. I won't let you down." The coach walks by, points to Train, the son of the team's owner. He's been getting expensive private tutors. Nobody really knows how he'll perform. Nuke is taken out of the game, and Train, with a smirk on his face, struts onto the field. He joins his friends Overpass and Cobblestone as Dust 2 and Inferno shake their heads in cynical acceptance. As the operation fades, so does Season. Now to be remembered but as a fleeting memory. A snowman who tried to survive the warmth of spring. A leaf falling to the ground where it will decay. Maxis. Too soon? Too soon. Sorry, that was way too dramatic. So who's that pro? It's Kerrigan from Team Solo Mid. I'm TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer.
Back in my day, we only had 3 maps. Dust, Dust 2, and Office. And all we really played was Office 24/7 servers with Warcraft 3 mod. And we was better for it. You young punks with your long hair and lack of gainful employment constantly saying we need all these maps and then get mad when we give to you.